the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremations since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Call 256-245-4361. For pre-need funerals, burials, or cremations, it's Curtis and Son Funeral Home, 256-245-4361. In obituary news this morning, funeral service for Tommy Keith Howard, age 65 of Sylacauga, will be Friday at 2 o'clock from Curtis and Son North, with burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation from 12:30 until service time at the funeral home on Friday. Mr. Howard died Tuesday at DCH Regional Hospital in Tuscaloosa. Online condolences at CurtisandSonFH.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel directing. Mr. George Crumpton, age 80 of Sylacauga, died Tuesday. Graveside service for Mr. Crumpton is today at 11 a.m. from Green Hill Memorial Gardens, with Pastor Randy Robertson officiating. In lieu of flowers, contribution can be made in George's memory to the Mount Vernon Baptist Church, or the Gideons, or St. Jude, and the PKD Foundation. Fond memories and expressions of sympathy can be shared at CurtisandSonFH.com with the Crumpton family. Curtis and Son Funeral Home directing. Mr. Robert Sonny Swain of Childersburg died September 29th at his residence. Community Funeral Home will announce the arrangements. Celebration of life for Mrs. Jessie Lee McCain Hamilton, age 71, is Friday, October 1st at 11 a.m. from Harper Springs Baptist Church Cemetery in Sylacauga, with the Reverend James O. Blackman officiating. Visitation is today, 1 until 7 at the funeral home. Mask required for all attending services. Community Funeral Home Sylacauga directing. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Funeral service for Mr. William Delano Bill Williamson, age 86, is Saturday, October 2nd at 11 a.m. from Radley Smith Funeral Home in Alexander City, with Minister Chris Tidwell and Minister Bruce Green officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. The family receiving friends Saturday, 9:30 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. at the funeral home. Mr. Williamson died Tuesday at Bethany House in Auburn. He was a member of the 10th Street Church of Christ in Opelika. Radley Funeral Home, Alexander City, in charge of the arrangements. Funeral service for Noble Twyman is today at 1 o'clock from Community Funeral Home Chapel in Sylacauga, with burial in the Tallahatchie Baptist Church Cemetery in Childersburg. Community Funeral Home directing. Gavin Havis, age 25 of Sylacauga, died September 25th. Community Funeral Home announcing. And Nakoa Akhtar, age 68, died September 28th. Funeral arrangements to be announced by Community Funeral Home Sylacauga. Memorial service for Mark Daniel Alley, age 52 of Sylacauga, is today at 10 a.m. from Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel, with Brother James Gallup's officiating. Mr. Alley died Saturday at his residence. Radley Smith Funeral Home Sylacauga directing. Funeral service for Mr. Willie Frank Tuck Sr., age 86 of Alexander City, is 11 o'clock this morning at Armour's Memorial Chapel in Alexander City, with burial in the Alexander City Cemetery. Final arrangements entrusted to Armour's Memorial Funeral Home. And Mrs. Vicki Graham Niemans died September 25th in Atlanta. Funeral service Saturday, October 2nd at 2 p.m. from Perfect Peace Baptist Church in Alexander City. Burial in the Armour's Memorial Garden. Visitation is Friday, October 1st at the funeral home from 4 until 7 p.m. Final arrangements entrusted to Armour's Memorial Funeral Home in Alexander City. This obituary report this morning brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.